Thank you. Now let's introduce the starting lineups for today's match. First, for the Knights. She's a senior, number 1, Caroline Rosenbaum. Senior, number 2, Emily Berry. She's a senior, number 4, Melanie Watson. Senior, number 6, Braden Jones. Senior, number 10, Hannah Sauer. Senior, number 14, Kate Fox. Sophomore, number 20, Gemma Berry. She's a senior, number 24, Emma Stout. Senior, number 25, Kelsey Stevens. Sophomore, number 29, Gabby Stout. And in goal for the Knights, sophomore goalkeeper, Avery Steele. The Knights are led by head coach Janelle Davis and Cameron Hill. And for your Charlotte Latin Hawks, she's a senior midfielder, number 1, Madeline Miles. Senior forward, number 2, Stella Burke. Junior midfielder, number 4, Abby Hanna. Junior forward, number 7, Marion DeBose. Senior midfielder, number 10, Reese Morgan. Junior defender, number 11, Caroline Hughes. Senior defender, number 15, Sydney Query. Junior defender, number 16, Bonner Kelly. Junior forward, number 19, Charlotte Toon. Junior midfielder, number 20, Peyton Sammy. And in goal for your Hawks, senior goalkeeper, Anna Burke. Your Hawks are led by head coach Joey Prestige, Mia Kane, Mary Yorkotes, and Michael Mendoza. Good afternoon, fans, and welcome to today's broadcast of Hawks Media Production. I am Joe Teets, and it is senior night here as your Hawks are hosting the Knights from Ardrey, Kell. You heard starting announcements there. As it is senior night, we are able to celebrate our seniors here on the field hockey team. That's number 1, Madeline Miles, number 2, Stella Burke, number 3, Paige Fletcher, number 10, Reese Morgan, number 15, Sydney Query, and in goal right now for your Hawks is senior goalkeeper Anna Burke. And we are underway here now with the Knights in their away dark uniforms. They're going to be moving from left to right of your viewing screen. Your Hawks in their home whites. That's an immediate foul call. Braden Jones is going to insert this one. Slides it over if they switch the pitch, where now Gabby Stout will have it. Stout's going to try to flick it up ahead. Looking for Barry, but cut off there by Charlotte Toon. Abby Hanna up top. She's going to try to keep that in, but Barry now has possession. Barry's going to slide that over to Melanie Watson, and Watson's going to switch the pitch and take it to the top of your screen all the way up to Braden Jones. Jones tried to get that before it rolled out of bounds, but ran out of real estate, immediately inserted here by the Hawks with DuBose. DuBose now slides that across, but that goes out of play, and it's going to go back over to the Knights here at midfield. Bonner Kelly cuts that off, though. Bonner's going to try to flick this up ahead, but that's stolen away by Watson. The senior midfielder is going to try to get deep, but then Madeline Miles cuts that off. Miles immediately inserts it up to Stella. Stella's going to try to slide this over to Sydney. Query back over to Stella. Nice 1-2 pass there. Backhanded sweep there, but that is a save made, and it will result in the first corner here for the Hawks. As we said, in goal for the Knights will be sophomore goalkeeper Avery Steele. So Miles is going to insert this one to the right of Steele. She's got Hannah right beside her. Stella Burke at the top. Inserted up top, over to DuBose. DuBose is going to take a strike at it, bounces around. Toon is there, and that goes in the net. Last touch there by Reese Morgan. As we try to capture the replay here. As you do now see, DuBose fed it over front to Toon, and Reese Morgan's going to be able to get that goal. Hawks goal scored by number 10, Reese Morgan. That's Reese's fourth goal on the season. As your Hawks now leading 1-0. I'll update the clock here with 12:21 and ticking now remaining. That's number 14. That's Kate Fox. Kate's going to try to get some space with it. Kate flicks this up ahead to Barry. Emily Barry now looking for a little bit of room. Works back to her left, back over to Fox. Thrown in front. Peyton Sammy, though, is going to be able to get that one and immediately insert it up to Stella. Great seeing Peyton back here in the starting lineup. She was out for an extended period with an ACL injury and finally at full go here in this starting lineup for your Hawks. Abby Hanna tries to run that one down, but just runs out of space, and that's going to be inserted at the bottom of your screen by Gabby Stout. Stout's going to scan the field, looking for space, tries to go up the near sideline, bounces around where Sydney can cut it off. Sydney's going to try to put it in the middle towards Madeline, but a stop is made there. That was by number 10, Hannah Sauer. Watson now is going to take this one, but Burke immediately steals that pass. Burke gets it up to DuBose. Marion's going to try to flick it up ahead to Charlotte. Toon now slides this over to Abby. Abby back to Sydney. Cut off, though, by Barry. And Emily Barry, their captain, is going to try to toe this near sideline. Morgan cuts that off, though. Morgan's trying to push forward as she was in a battle there with number 25, Kelsey Stevens. And they're going to ask Morgan to move it back towards the midfield line where she's now going to scan the field. Slides it up to Sydney. Sydney trying to get room on it, but they're going to call that one up high and immediately turned over, and they're going to waste no time as Emily Barry now takes it. Barry's going to try to work into the offensive zone, gets around Morgan, tries to flick that up ahead. That's number 25, Kelsey Stevens. Stevens is going to try to get that deeper in the zone. Stick there has got entangled, and Kate Fox wastes no time. She's going to hit a strong strike there, but that's going to hit past the side of the cage and come out to the 16-yard line for the Hawks defense. Caroline Hughes now sets this over to Burke, and that took an unfortunate bounce over Stella's stick and immediately brought back into play by Fox. Kate Fox wasting no time again, and they're going to ask her to slow it down. And after the first warning, the turnover will go to the Hawks defense where Hughes will have it. Hughes now flicks that up ahead. That's going to take a bounce on the turf over to Charlotte's stick. Charlotte's going to try to throw it down this sideline looking for Stella, but just goes too far. And that can't be completed. Another 5-yard warning given to Toon. And clock will ask to be... And we're going to restart here now with 9:14 to go. We'll let that clock catch up to us before we reset ours. Now to Miles. Miles now going to work. She's going to try to take a swing there, but fans on it a little bit. And turn over to number 20, Gemma Berry. Berry now with it. Berry's going to work over the top sideline looking for space. Stepped in front there was Hughes. As Hughes is able to knock that one away, give it up to Miles. Miles is going to quickly transition up to Toon. Charlie Toon hasn't. They do have numbers here. Toon over to Burke, but that's cut off. Back to Burke. Burke takes a big swing, and that is going to bounce wide as Stella wasted no time. She had space in front and tried to put as much as she could behind it, but sent that one wide, and we'll turn over here to the Knights defense at the 16-yard mark. Bouncing around here at midfield. Inside the scoring area. Hawks trying to get that. DeBose, another big save made there by Steele. She was able to kick that one out with her right leg. Steele slides in front again with her stick to be able to knock that one loose, and that's going to turn over here to the Knights. Thrown in front, and that is outside the scoring circle, so the Knights are going to be able to slow things down and have the free start. One-touch pass there, try to be completed by Jones, but that rolls off her stick and out of play. Hawks are going to regain possession here on their offensive side, where Miles is going to have the insert from the top of your screen. Miles tries to feed that up ahead, bouncing through a few sticks. Burke now has it. She's going to try to get that over to DeBose. DeBose trying to feed it inside. Bonner is there, but it hit up off Bonner's foot, and that's going to turn over to the Knights on the defensive side here. Going to be placed down by Gabby Stout, and another whistle here to... Actually, she just wanted to give it to another defender to restart it, so that will be Caroline Rosenbaum. Rosenbaum here now tries to feed that up ahead towards the middle. Interference will be called on the Hawks, so that will be another free start here as Caroline's going to scan the field and just start again. Caroline now slides it up ahead to Watson. Watson looking to the other captain in the middle, looking for space. That's number 8, Amelia Heskell. Query now with it. Sydney tries to toe the line, but that goes out of play. Turns over here to the Knights on their defensive side with just under 6 minutes to play here in this first quarter. Stout now with it. Stout inserted, but that's immediately cut off by Madeline. Miles now looking for a little bit of room. She's going to just try to take a swing, but that follow-through is a little bit too high. And a quick conference here. And I think she wants to have a talk here with all the players. As the players were talking too much about how their weekend was and other plans, not talking as much about field hockey. And I'm sure that's exactly what the official was telling them right now. So we're going to restart here with 5:34. And this will be a traditional field hockey face-off. As players, I don't think have done this too often, so they got to reset to figure out what to do. And that face-off is won by Watson. Melanie Watson drops it back, looking for space. Peyton Sammy's there to cut it off. Foul will be called, though, on Peyton, and it will turn over here. As I believe this is number 8. This is Heskell. Abby Hanna now tries to get that and couldn't find any space, so it will turn over. Battling here at midfield is Jones and DeBose. Interference foul is called again. So this will be another insert here by high school. Sammy cuts that one off. Peyton trying to get control of it as she's going to try to send that down. That bounces off the stick of a Knight player and goes out of bounds. So Caroline Hughes is going to have the insert at the top of your screen. Hughes scans the field, tries to chip it up ahead. Knights cut it off. And a foul will be called there, so it will be another insert here, and that's going to be wasting no time as Caroline's going to try to slide that up ahead. But to Madeline Miles. Miles is going to try to run with it, gets the play on symbol, takes a big chip with it. Stella Burke's able to grab it, but they are going to rule that dangerous and turn over here to the Knights. Madeline Miles now gets that up to Charlotte. Charlotte's going to turn into a little bit of a foot race here. She's able to get it before it goes to the end line. Chips it up ahead to Marion. Marion's going to be able to keep it in play, and that will be a foul called. Not sure exactly on which player got that one called against her, but it will turn over here to the Knights, where Rosenbaum now tries to clear that out, but stolen away by DeBose, but that pass hit too high up on the foot of Toon and will reset here. Caroline now throws that up ahead to Melanie. Watson now with it. Watson's going to try to feed this up ahead. That's number 21, Lily Eisen. Eisen now tries to feed that up ahead. Bonner Kelly, though, runs it down. Bonner chips this one up over to number 21. That's Anna Grace Farney. And Farney now drops it back behind. Morgan now gets us up to DeBose. Marion DeBose now running with it. She has a Knight defender on her heels. And it hits off that Knight defender's foot and will result in another corner here for your Hawks. This is their second of the game so far. As you see, as the Hawks getting set up, thank you to this fantastic camera angle we are seeing from Mr. Steve Heitzman up top on the press box as our camera operator today. Thank you also to his wife, Stacy, who was our clock operator. As you are watching your Hawks take on the Knights from Ardrey, Kell. This will be a corner here that will be inserted by Anna Grace Farney. Again, she's to the right of goaltender Avery Steele. Over to DeBose. Marion with a solid strike, and that hits the back of the net as Marion DeBose was able to catch that insert pass and send it to the back of the net here for the Hawks' second goal. Let's go real quick here to that highlight. As you see here, quickly inserted to the top where Marion takes it, takes one step, and then just fires it to the right. And your Hawks are now up 2-0 with 1:37 remaining in this first quarter, and that is Marion DeBose's 10th goal of the season. Hawks goal Scored by number 7, Marion DeBose. Quick transition here again. DuBose tried to fear that in the near side, but Steele had the angle cut off, and DuBose cannot fit that in. Last hit off of Steele, though, on the save, so it's going to be brought up to the top of the zone, where Anna Grace Farney is going to start with it at the 16-yard line. Immediately stolen away, though. That's by number 21, Lily Eisen. Eisen now here with it. Throws that off of Sydney Query's foot, so the free start. Knights wasting no time. They're going to try to chip this up ahead. That was number 14 there, Kate Fox, but that does go wide. 20 seconds remaining as Reese Morgan will retreat and bring it back into the zone. And that jog's going to get a little slower here as the clock is their friend with the first quarter winding down. Reese is going to try to fit that up through the center. Burke gets the first pass, and a foul will be called, and that will be the quarter as you are about to hear the whistle sound. So at the end of one, Hawks got goals from Marion DeBose and Reese Morgan, and your Hawks are now going to take a 2-minute break here before getting ready for a second quarter of action. Okay, fans, we're getting set for the second quarter of action. Your Hawks leading the Ardrey Kell Knights 2-0 with goals from Reese Morgan and Marion DeBose. Scanning the field, it looks like I see up front will be number 5, Kingsley Hall, number 28, Annie Heitzman, number 2, Stella Burke, and number 22, Kennedy Clutter. Peyton Sammy is going to be at that midfield position, and there are defenders Madeline Miles, Anna Grace Varney, Sydney Query, Bonner Kelly, and Morgan Reese. Fed back here to the defensive line. That is Stout. Gabby Stout's going to look around looking for space. Kingsley tried to deflect that one, but rolled off her stick and went out of play. So this now will be inserted by Stout again at the bottom of your screen. Immediately slides it over to Melanie. Watson tries to feed that up ahead. Bella's there. Stella there. She's going to try to cut that off. Does draw the foul. Peyton Sammy is going to immediately insert it and try to get it up to Kennedy Clutter, but Emily Berry is there. Berry now with it as she draws the foul on Clutter. And that will be a 5-yard warning given. Kennedy now steals that one, tries to feed it up to Heitzman. Annie there gets the one pass up to Kingsley. Cut off, though, by Rosenbaum. Both Heitzman and Hall were battling there on the forecheck, but it goes out of play and will be inserted here by the Knights. Annie immediately steals that pass, though, and gets it up to Kingsley. Back over to Heitzman. And kicked out by Steele. Rebound attempt, another kick save. Peyton Sammy comes in with the rebound, but that will be a foul called on the Hawks. So after a number of saves made there by the Knights, they're going to be able to draw the foul and get the free start. Miles tried to have her stick on the turf for that stop. She does. Gets a little bit of space, tries a little backhanded sweeper, but that can't be completed, and another foul will be called. Rosenbaum now tried to clear that one out. Peyton Sammy's there. Peyton flicks it up the head to Stella. Burke looking for a little bit of room, but she's cut off there by number 6, Braden Jones. Stella does get room again, tries to feed it across. Sydney Query was there on the far post, but Avery Steele was able to slide over quick enough to be able to cut off that angle and knock it wide. And they're going to say that was actually last touched by Sydney as it went out. But Hawks do get possession here. A nice pass in front from Heitzman over top to Kennedy. But that is kicked out again by Steele. Brought back up at the top of the zone where the Hawks are going to be able to have the free start. And that foul will be called. It's going to be a free start. Sent all the way down where Bonner Kelly's now is going to be able to grab that one. Bonner's going to try to get it back onto the Hawks side as it's battling here at midfield. That insert there is going to be a foul, and it's going to be a free start here. Emily Berry over to Melanie Watson. Watson's going to start with this one. And sends it all the way down here to Braden Jones, but she can't run that one down. So the Hawks are going to be able to take the free start as Reese Morgan's going to come and collect it and insert it at the bottom of your screen. Reese scans the field, tries to send it down the near sideline. Nice play by Sydney to let the Knights touch that one as it went over the end line. So Morgan now here is going to insert this one again. Reese looks in the middle, drops it back over to Anna Grace. Anna Grace now back to Reese. Reese is going to try to get this up to Sydney, but that's cut off there by Braden. Thrown up here at midfield. I believe that's number 14, Kate Fox now. Excuse me, that's number 24, Emma Stout. Emma Stout now trying to get a little bit of space. Madeline Miles cuts it off. Emma is able to get that again. It does bounce over to Barry. Thrown in front, back to Stout. Bouncing around and cleared out, though, by Morgan. As we mentioned earlier, senior night here. In goal, you see there for the Hawks. That is senior goalkeeper Anna Burke, getting her first start of the season. Over to Watson. Watson's going to try to find space up through the middle. Query just kicks that one out up to Kingsley. Kingsley's going to try to get it on her right-hand side, but it does get chipped out of bounds. So now Morgan here is going to insert, try to get it up to Sydney. Sydney trying to dribble around one defender, but it hit up on her foot. So the far official is going to call a foul there, where Braden Jones is going to have the start. Jones now tries to feed it up ahead, bouncing around a few sticks and feet, and I think it's going to be cleared out. It does as Heitzman gets some room, and he's going to be able to dribble with it with a little time and space. Knocked off the stick, though. That is Rosenbaum. Another Hawk foul, so this will be a free start here. Rosenbaum now gets that up ahead to Watson. And another interference foul will be called on Miles. As the Knights are just chipping their way down the field here. Bounces inside the scoring area, immediately cleared out by Bonner and over to Madeline. Miles tries to get some space. And that hit off a defender's foot for the Knights, so the Hawks are going to be able to slow things down and bring it back in play with 8:30 remaining here in the first quarter. Bonner Kelly sets it down. She's going to try to scan, flicks it up towards the middle. Anna Grace Farney gets the next touch, and that one did not feel good. Hit up high on number 4, Melanie Watson. So Watson's going to take it. She's going to slide this over to Jones. Stella, though, is able to intercept it, and Stella's going to try to go the other way. Nice one-touch by Burke. Burke is going to try to flick that up ahead as she's able to still get her rebound. Her and Jones are battling there back and forth with it. Now Query's battling there with Jones. And a stick foul will be called on Sydney. So the Knights are going to have the free start here. Gabby Stout now with it. Gabby scans. She's going to try to take a big swing at it, and that bounces over to Annie. Annie throws it into open space up to Kingsley. Kingsley's able to get inside the scoring area, tries to work back to her right, takes a shot, but Steele kicks that one out, bounces back over to Annie. Annie's going to try to feed that back into Kingsley. Kingsley's going to take another shot, but another save made there by Steele. Annie now gets it again over to Stella. Stella's going to try to backhand flick that one, but that's cut off there by Watson. Stout now trying to clear this one out. And a whistle will be blown. Clock will be stopped. And a green card will be assessed to number 5, Kingsley Hall. Margaret Pasecki now in the game. She's going to fit that one into the scoring area. And another whistle will be blown on the Hawks, so this will be a free start here. Nice waste no time as they're going to work to that to midfield, but Anna Grace Farney cuts it off. Anna Grace tried to slide it over to Margaret. Pasecki now feeds that up ahead. Pasecki, one of the leading scorers for the Hawks as a sophomore with 11 so far on the year. Her and Stella Burke tied with the lead. And this will be Emily Berry, who's now going to insert this. Berry tries to flick it up ahead to Watson. Cut off, though, by Burke. Watson does get it back. She's got Annie pressuring her. And stolen away there by Heitzman. Heitzman slides this over to Query. Query now is going to try to feed that up ahead. Sydney battling there with it. Can't find any space. And that does hit off of Burke's foot. And will turn over here to the Knights with about 5.5 minutes remaining here in the first half. Rosenbaum is going to now start with this one. Nice step into the left there by Caroline. She's going to try to feed that up ahead. Over to number 4, Melanie Watson. Knights get across midfield as number 2 now has it. That's Barry. Barry's going to try to force this one up to the right side. Pasecki is going to retreat. and grab possession of it. Back over to Stout. Emma Stout now flicks that inside to the middle. Morgan now is going to try to clear it out over to Farney. Anna Grace tried to get that up ahead to Kennedy, and Kennedy Clutter is able to keep it in play. She's going to try a backhanded sweeper, but can't connect on it. It's bouncing around midfield. Does go to Kennedy again as the freshman's going to move quickly near the top of the sideline, but that's stolen away there by Gemma Berry. Berry now with it as she's going to spin, and that is thrown off a foot, but continue to play on. The Knights are going to have the advantage. As Sauer now gets that up ahead. That is number 25, Kelsey Stevens. Stevens tried to find room, but Pasecki cuts that one off. Over to Stout. And that will be a free start just outside the scoring area. Immediately inserted there by Fox. Fox tried to send it back, but Kingsley now back on the field. Stolen away by Stout. Gabby Stout trying to keep it on, but Kingsley pressuring her. Bounces over to Stella. Stella trying to keep possession. Stella's just going to turn and flick this up ahead to Kennedy. Kennedy trying to find room with it. Over to Miles. Madeline back up to Kennedy. Kennedy over into the middle to Margaret. Pasecki over to Stella. Stella looking for room down this left-hand side. Has it on her backhanded sweep. But that will be a foul called and sent over here to the Knights. Quick pressure there by the Hawks, but just couldn't get that final touch in the scoring area. The head towards goal. Pass across, looking for room. Sauer tries to get that up ahead to number 14, Kate Fox. Sydney Query, though, cuts it off, and the senior's going to move down the left-hand side. Sydney looking for room as she gets inside the scoring area. Tries to throw one in front, but that will result in a corner as that clearing pass by Sydney Query hit off a foot, and it will be the third corner here of the game for your Hawks with just under 3 minutes to play here in this first half. Anna Grace Farney now will insert this one. This will be to the right of Avery Steele. She's got Pasecki on her near pass. Hall at the top with Kennedy Clutter. Hawks have seen a number of times that Margaret Pasecki can be dominant from the top. That gives it over to Kingsley. Back over to Margaret. Margaret's going to let it settle in and send a shot in, but that's kicked out by Steele. And that will be a foul called on the Hawks and turnover here to the Knights where Melanie Watson will start. Watson's going to try to flick this up ahead. Gets over to Ison. Sydney's there, and Pasecki, Margaret Pasecki, immediately tried to fit it down the near pass, but couldn't keep it in play. So number 10, Hannah Sauer, will insert this one. Sauer now gets it over here to the middle to Watson. Watson, that is number 23, Morgan Graham now in the game. Foul called here, so Watson's going to flick it up ahead to Berry. Berry settles it down. She's going to try to work quickly. She's got Miles on her hip. And Kennedy Clutter there as the second defender in, is able to make that steal, tries to clear it out, but number 4, Melanie Watson, is there. Watson slides this over to Fox, and clock will be stopped at 1:15. And I believe this will be another green card. This will be assessed to Madeline Miles. 2-minute penalty with 1:15 remaining. So we will now start here. Knights pressuring here on the offensive side. Nice stop there by Pasecki. They're going to call a foul on the Hawks. So immediately will be inserted here by Berry. Berry now trying to get that over to Fox. Kate Fox battling with it with Clutter. Kate now with it as Fox is going to try to chip this ahead, but that's immediately stopped there by Heitzman. Heitzman's going to feed that up ahead. That clearing, though, again, Stella Burke is able to get in the room. Stella's going to try to look for space. Settles it in. She's battling there with Rosenbaum, and a foul will be called. So Caroline Rosenbaum now going to try to quickly get this into the scoring area. Bergen is now in there. That's Bergen McLeod. And a foul will be called there. And up to Stella. Stella's got 15 seconds remaining. Going to try to flick this up ahead. She's moving past Graham, trying to get space with it. Sends it back over to right. Chips ahead into the middle. 4 seconds. 3, 2, and 1. And that is going to be the horn. No score here in the second quarter, but 2 in the first for your Hawks. And we are going to head into the halftime with your Hawks leading 2-1. Let's recap the 2 goals that we did have here to start things off. First goal was by Reese Morgan as it was fed in front, and Reese was able to get that rebound directly in front of the goal and was able to hit the back of the net with 12:45 in the first quarter to be able to get that first lead. We then checked the second goal. Second goal here was by Marion DeBose. Another one, Marion takes the insert from the penalty corner, takes one step, and fires it past Steele for your Hawks to take a 2-0 lead into the halftime locker room. We're going to pause here for about 5 minutes, and we will be back with some second half action. We apologize there for the delay, but it looks like Kennedy Clutter does get on the board there for your Hawks. We try to go to the replay. And you see that is a high up flick that just hit the top of the net. And Kennedy Clutter does get the goal for your Hawks. Hawks goal scored by number 22, Kennedy Clutter. So 3-0 here now with just about 12 minutes to play here. And that foul will be called. That is Kennedy Clutter's 4th goal on the season, her 1st of the game. Immediate transition back down here for the Knights. Knights have it on their side, looking for space. And that's going to move up for Kingsley. Turned away, though, by Barry. And thrown in front there to Fox. Fox is going to try to get this up ahead over to Stout. Stout looking for room, but a foul is called. So McLeod is now going to slide this one over. Bergen now gets that up ahead. That's number 17, Ali Kozimov, looking for space, and that goes out of play. So Kennedy Clutter, actually, she's just going to drop it back down to Bergen. McLeod now here with it. McLeod feeds this up ahead to Annie. Heitzman now works to her left, bouncing around here in the middle. Play on, symboled by the Knights. And a foul will be called. So, again, a free start here by the Knights. This is Watson. Watson's going to slide this one over to Jones. Kozimov cuts that one off, though. Jones now with it, but Burke is able to steal it. And a stick foul will be called. So the Hawks are going to get the free start here for Pasecki. Margaret Pasecki wastes no time. She's going to chip that all the way down, but it does go out of play. And we'll turn over here to the Knights with just about 10 minutes to play here. Again, last goal by number 22, Kennedy Clutter. Pasecki picks up that loose ball. Pasecki's now going to try to slide it at the top of your screen for Sammy. Peyton Sammy runs it down. She's going to try to get that back to Maurice, but now it's going the other way. Flicked into the area there. That's going to be Stevens. Kelsey Stevens tries to run that down, but Bergen now gets it. Bergen McLeod now tries to get around 2 defenders, gets the play on symbol. And goes up to Anna Grace Farney. Farney now with it. Farney's going to try to slide that around, cut off by Graham. Farney feeds this up ahead to Madeline, but it just goes wide of the end line. And that will be a long insert on the defensive side here for the Knights. And that flick is going to be touched too high. So it's going to stay here with the Knights as they're going to try to find room. Excuse me, that's Farney. Anna Grace now is going to try to get this inside the scoring area that hit off a defender's foot. So that will be another corner assessed. This will be now the 5th here by your Hawks as they were able to convert on their last opportunity. Anna Grace Farney is going to set up to the right of Steele to insert this one. Immediately cut off there. That is DeBose. Nice little give and go action there. Clutter now has it. Kennedy's going to try to fit it in, and Marion DeBose finishes that one off as Kennedy Clutter fed it in front, and DeBose was able to get that last touch to hit the back of the net here as we go and see. You're going to see Kennedy Clutter immediately moving to her right, fitting it in front. And as soon as she got that pass in front, she knew that that was going to be a goal by Marion DeBose. That was her second on the game and her 11th on the season. Hawks goal, her second of the game, scored by number 7, Marion DeBose. Quick transition here now. Abby Hanna now trying to find room as she feeds that in. Peyton Sammy there battling to keep, but it's cleared out by Caroline Rosenbaum. Bergen now tries to get this one. Bergen tries to feed it up ahead, but that's stolen away by Emma Stout. Stout and McLeod now battling with it. Bergen wins that battle and feeds it up the head to Marion. Marion now has time and space as she's going to work inside the scoring area. Tries to work to her right. Feed in front to the far post. Steele's able to slide over there and make the second save. Another save is made, and that will go as a Hawk foul and will turn over here to the Knights, as it looks like both Charlotte Toon, Abby Hanna were there in front trying to get it past Steele, but she held tight on that far post to keep things out. Watson now with it. Watson's going to try to get a little bit of space. Tries to feed this up to Stout, but just can't touch it as it goes out of play. So Bergen now will insert this one. McLeod now takes a few steps. Tries to get around one defender up to DeBose. Marion now tries to flick it up over a defender's stick. They're going to say that hit off of Marion's foot and will turn over here. And stopped there by Marion. And they're going to give a 5-yard warning here to Marion. Gabby Stout now will set this up again. Gabby's going to scan the field, try to drop it back over to Watson. Watson up front, cut off, though, by Miles. That hit off of Madeline's foot and will be another free start. Watson now with it. Watson's going to try to switch the pitch up to the top. Broken up, though, by Heintzman. Annie now with it as Annie's going to work across midfield, trying to get around one defender. It's going to be forced out of bounds. Last touch by the Knights. Reese now immediately gets it up to Annie, and Annie's going to quick pass up to Abby. Abby Hanna now with it as she's able to stop it before it goes out of play. Flicks it back over to DeBose. DeBose now has it in front, looking for space. Allie Kozimoff is there. Sydney Query now gets the loose ball. Sydney's going to try to move inside. Over to Marion. Marion goes far post. It's bouncing around. Number 10, Hannah Sauer, was on the far post to block it off, but it hit off her foot. And that will be another corner here for your Hawks. With 4:08 and running remaining here in the third quarter. Your Hawks leading now 4-0. Again, with goals from DuBose with 2, Morgan and Clutter. So now they're going to talk this one over and stop the clock at 3:57. And it will be a penalty stroke that will be assessed here. I think they're going to say that they'll covered up the ball in the scoring area. So this will be a penalty stroke here. I believe that's DeBose. Margaret Pasecki, excuse me. And a big save is made there by Avery Steele as she was able to dive out to her right. If we go back to the replay here real quick, you'll see Pasecki try to go to her left, but Avery Steele dove out to her right and was able to get her paw on it to knock that one away. So now it's going to be inserted. Margaret, though, immediately gets it again, tries to feed it up ahead to Marion. Marion now goes on the right-hand side, throws it in front, and Madeline Miles is able to get the goal there with that touch. And with 3:42, the senior Madeline Miles gets her second goal of the season. Here, Hawks now leading 5-0. Hawks goal scored by number 1, Madeline Miles. One of the seniors here on senior night being able to hit the back of the net. 3:42 remaining here in this third quarter. Hawks now just tallied their 5th goal of the game. And the Knights are going to try to throw this down below. That's Stout. Emma Stout now has it as she's going to get it back up through the middle. Touch there on the play by Stevens, but a hit off of Stevens' foot, so the Hawks are going to quickly try to transition. Up to Pasecki, and Pasecki over to DeBose. Marion DeBose now has time and space as she's going to run with it, protecting it on her right hip, but that pass couldn't go far enough, hit off the heel of a Knight defender. Hawks are going to waste no time getting it back in play. Steal there by Stout. Actually, yeah, it is Gabby Stout now with it as she's trying to find room in the corner. Her and DeBose now battling with it. Marion comes over with it. Marion's going to chip one down the goal line, but that is going to go out of play. And the Knights are going to be able to bring it up to the 16-yard line to be able to take their free insert. Actually, they're going to say his last touch by the Knights, excuse me. So the Hawks will have it here. Marion now with it. And a foul will be called on the interference. So DeBose takes the free start, steps forward and then back again, trying to toe that end line. Throws one in front. That stopped, though, on the play by Fox. Bounced over to Miles, and that follow-through is going to be ruled dangerous. So the Knights waste no time. They're going to quickly try to go the other way. This is number 14, Kate Fox. Kate Fox with it as she has Query on her right hip, trailing her. Fox tries to sweep it across, and that will be ruled dangerous. Turn back over here to the Hawks. Heitzman now gets it up ahead to Abby. Hannah looking for room. And the clock will be stopped at 1:24. This will be a green card assessed to number 4, Abby Hanna. And now restarted here. Flick down the sideline, but that goes out of play and brought back in. Hit off the foot of assistant coach Michael Mendoza. Moving around, trying to find space. Watson now with it. Watson's going to spin and try to throw it down the right-hand side. Heitzman's there, though. She's able to cut off that pass. Stolen again, though, by the Knights, and they're going to go the other way. Looking for room. Nice play there on the retrieve from Heitzman, but they're going to call a stick foul and give a corner, as they're going to say that she had free space. So this corner now will be assessed. I believe this is going to be number 25, Kelsey Stevens, who's going to insert this one to the right of Burke. Anna in net here now with McLeod, Morgan, Query, and Heitzman. Stevens now with it. Stevens throws it up top to Watson. Watson over on the side. Chipped in front, bouncing around, and that's going to go over the end line, and that will end the third quarter as your Hawks were able to get a few on the board here in that third period. And we're going to take a 2-minute break before we come back for some fourth quarter action. Okay, fans, we are back for now the fourth quarter of action. Your Hawks leading 5-0. Again, goals from Miles, Morgan, Clutter, and 2 from the Bows. And your Hawks now are going to start with possession. They're going to be moving left to right here. Again, still in goal for your Hawks is senior goalkeeper Anna Burke, Looks like at the top we have Stella Burke, Annie Heinzman, and Marion DeBose. In this midfield position is Madeline Miles, Sydney Query, Margaret Persecki, and it looks like Allie Kosmoff, and Bergen McLeod, and Reese Morgan on the defensive side. Hawks are going to quickly try to transition. Nice little dribbling skills there by Heitzman as she was able to get in the scoring circle. She's battling here with it. Query comes up as Sydney's going to try to find some room. She's being marked right now by Gemma Berry. That goes out of play, and they're going to say it's over the end line. And I believe they will give that to the Knights because his last touch there by the Hawks. Sauer now is going to insert this one. Cut off by Stella. Back to Stauer. And Burke up to DeBose. DeBose now looks for space over to Kingsley. Kingsley goes far post, but a kick save there by Avery Steele. And that one goes out of play, so the Hawks will have it at the top of the zone. Sydney now is just going to drop it down and let Pasecki take this free start. Margaret Scan, she's going to dribble it over inside. Nice play there by DeBose. Marion tries to feed it in front. Poke checked out, though, by Steele. Bounces up to Pasecki, and a goal there. As it looks like Kingsley Hall, Marion DeBose, not sure which one was able to feed it in. I believe that was Kingsley to get that last touch. As we check the replay here. And that was Kingsley Hall there, getting her first goal of the game, and that's her fourth of the season. Hawks goal, scored by number 5, Kingsley Hall. Bergen trying to find space, but she couldn't. She got cut off there on the play by number 2, Emily Berry. Hands this off to Braden Jones, and Jones is going to insert this one. Jones throws it up inside the scoring area. That is picked up there by number 8, Emily Haskell. Over to number 27, Addison Thompson. And a foul will be called, and the Hawks will take possession. Slides this over to Annie. Annie's now going to switch it up to Kingsley. Kingsley now with it. Looking for a little bit of space over to Sydney. Back to Kingsley. Kingsley looking for room as she dribbles down the sideline. She's got number 10. That's Hannah Sauer on her hip. And Kingsley draws the foul. Immediately hits it up into the scoring area. Over to DeBose. Marion now with it. Marion's going to try to flick it in front. Rebound to Alley. Kozimov tries to take a save, but that is blocked there by defender number 29, Gabby Stout. Hit off a Gabby stick and went out of play, so the Hawks are going to have the insert at the top of your screen. Margaret trying to get in, but that's chipped away there by Stout. And Emma gets it up over to Barry. Emily Barry now looking for room as the captain is able to continue moving here. Jones now hits it inside the zone. That's cut off, though, by Sydney. Sydney up over to Bergen. Bergen now looking for room. Up to DeBose. Marion now tries to get it over to that end line, but that's tipped out of play, and that's going to go over to the Knights. Kingsley now able to grab it. Kingsley's going to get to the right side of the scoring area, tries to feed one in front to DeBose, but another save made by Steele there. Second save there as Steele's able to get that one down, and that shot attempt does go wide. And they are going to say that it was last touch by the Hawks, so the Knights are going to bring this out to the top of their defensive zone. Stout now slides this over. A quick one-touch pass. That's stolen away, though, by Marion. Marion trying to find room as she gets inside. Throws it in front. Bounces over to Hall. Annie has it, and that's going to bounce over. Stella's going to try to get the rebound. Stave made there by Steele on her left-hand side. Pasecki now tries to feed it in. Margaret looking for room, but that's cleared out by the Knights. Bonner Kelly on the forecheck is able to keep it up inside. Over to Sydney. Query now with it. Slides this one over. Emily Berry now with it. Berry has a little bit of space as Berry dribbles in time and space, looking for room. Emily now steps back, looking for more. She's going to now slide this over. And cut off there by Heintzman, and it bounces up over to Morgan. Fed back in play, though. Knights are trying to keep this one. That's Kate Fox trying to get it deep, but Sydney Query cuts that one off and up to Annie. Heitzman now chips it up ahead to Kingsley. Kingsley looking for room as she takes a step back and takes a big whack, and that one hit up high. And you hate to see that. Great to see that Caroline is okay. And she waves over to her coach, saying that she's all right. As people who know play field hockey, those balls do not give it all. And she was able to wave that one off with a smile on her face and keeps on going. Cut off over to Morgan. Morgan now up ahead to Kingsley. Morgan trying to chip this up ahead. Kingsley's going to try to run it down before it goes over the end line. Chips it up ahead to Stella. Burke now with it on the left-hand side, looking for room. Burke works that end line, trying to feed one in front. Cut off, though, by the Knights' defense. Kicked out, though, by Steele. Another save made there by Steele, and that one is swept in. Couldn't see if it was Marion DeBose or Stella Burke to get that last touch. It's senior day, so we're going to credit that goal to number 2, Stella Burke. But both her and Marion DeBose were right there to be able to tap that one in. That is Stella's 12th on the year, her first today. Hawks goal scored by number 2, Stella Burke. And Heitzman tries to flick that one up, but that immediately went too high, so that will turn over here to the Knights. Number 24, Emma Stout, shaking her hand a little bit as that hit up off the fingers. Gemma Berry now is going to insert this one. Berry slides this one over to Watson. Stolen away, though, by Toon. Charlotte now has it. Charlotte's going to try to feed this into open space to Stella. Stella now works down this left-hand side to Kingsley. Kingsley now with a little bit of room as she tries to work back, but cut off on the play. It's bouncing around. The Knights are trying to clear this out. That is Berry and Reese Morgan battling with it. Number 11, Caroline Hughes. 5 yards is going to be called there on Caroline. And that hit off of Pasecki. And Pasecki's going to try to feed this up ahead. Rosenbaum, though, cuts that one off. Caroline now gets that up to Watson. Watson and Pasecki battling for it, and that will be a foul called on Margaret. So Watson's going to immediately flick this up down in the open space. It will be a foot race. Kelsey Stevens now with it. Stevens is going to try to flick this up to Graham. Anna Burke, though. And Anna makes the save as she was able to kick that out over to the left-hand side. As the senior goalkeeper, again, making her first career start here on senior day, and was able to make a nice save there with her left pad. Kate Fox now with it. Fox over to Sauer. Stolen away there by Kingsley. Kingsley trying to feed that up, but that is a foul called. Watson now is going to try to get this up ahead. Hughes is there to cut off that pass. Hughes gets it up to Kennedy. Clutter's trying to find space with it. Kennedy is going to try to feed this one in, but they're going to call interference on Kennedy there. And they're going to allow Gabby Stout to pick it up and just drop it on the other side of midfield, and now have that insert. Slides this one over to number 6, Braden Jones, but that's stolen away by Kennedy. Clutter has time and space as she's going to move all the way down on her own. Gets into that right-hand side, tries to feed it in front, but Toon just couldn't get a stick on it, and that's going to roll all the way over the end line. And I believe that will be Knights' possession with 5.5 minutes remaining in this contest. Your Hawks up 7-0. Again, fans, if you're enjoying watching this Hawks broadcast, we will have one more for you tonight as our JV football team will be hosting Lions from Covenant Day in our stadium at 6 o'clock. Again, that game will be on our YouTube channel. And then tomorrow we will have a doubleheader of action. Our middle school football team will be taking on Holy Trinity. That game will kick off at 4:30. And then our JV and varsity volleyball team will be hosting the Cougars from Cannon. Again, that game will also be on our YouTube channel. Fans, we always want to see you here in person cheering on the Hawks, but if you can't, tune into our YouTube channel to be able to get every second of action. That pass was fed in front, but Avery Steele was able to get a stick on it before Kennedy Clutter could get anything towards the net. It does hit off a Knight's foot, and that will be another corner assessed here for the Hawks. And that's one going to be to the right. It looks like Caroline Hughes is going to insert this one to the right of Steele. Hughes has Pasecki on the near pass. Hall up top with Heitzman. Caroline tries to feed it over to Margaret. Goes on her left-hand side, though. Margaret's going to have to work to get back in the zone. Tries a backhanded sweep, but a kick-out save there by Steele, and that's going to go towards the Knights' possession. Number 24, Emma Stout's going to try to get it. She takes a sweeper up to number 11. That's a DT Putovan. That's Emily Berry and Kingsley Hall now battling. Emily tried to find room, but just misses some of the real estate. Madeline Miles immediately grabs it. Madeline feeds that up into the middle, trying to look for room. Kingsley, though, is able to grab possession of it. Tries to throw it towards the middle, but that's going to go all the way out of play and over the end line. So the defense for the Knights are going to be able to retreat and grab one here and bring it up to the 16-yard line to be able to insert this one. Again, this will be our next to last home regular season game. Your Hawks will be hosting the Chargers from PD. That game won't be till October 10th, though, as they go on the road for a few games. And that will be their finale of the regular season before we get ready for any state playoff action. Madeline tries to swing on that one, but that goes all the way out. Last touch by the Knights, so it will be brought up to the top of the zone with 2:30 remaining here. Hawks are going to take some time to be able to get this one, as the clock is their friend. So Kennedy Clutter is just going to slide this up to Pasecki. Pasecki now with it. Slides this over to Reese. Reese is going to try to fit this up in towards the middle. That's cut off, though, and that will be a Hawk foul. So the Knights are going to be able to have the free start. Trying to look for room, though, as they immediately couldn't get it out, so Pasecki grabs it again. Margaret looking for Madeline, but that pass goes over the end line, and the Knights are going to be able to bring this one back in play. Again, fans, just a recap here. The goals that we do have. 2 goals scored by Marion DeBose today. Madeline Miles with 1, Stella Burke, Kingsley Hall, Reese Morgan, and Kennedy Clutter. And that will round out the 7 your Hawks scored. Anna Burke is in goal here. She's got the shutout continuing to go here on senior night. Stella now with it. Over to Sydney. Sydney Query with it. Sydney's going to try to feed one in, but that's saved by Steele. Steele is there again with another big save, and she kicks that one out off to her foot, and that will be a foul called on the Hawks. Yeah, the Hawks were able to put 7 behind, but Avery Steele has made a number of saves for the Knights here, including one on a penalty stroke, to keep things at bay here late in this fourth quarter. Madeline went out with it. Miles is going to try to go. She's going to try to swing on that one. That hit off a foot. Bouncing around now. Kingsley's going to try to take it. She chips it up in front, bouncing around again. And there was a whistle beforehand, and that is going to be a penalty corner assessed here for the Hawks before it hit the back of the net. I know the Hawks wanted that one because I think Sydney Query, the senior, was the last to touch that one, as Sydney looking for her second goal on the season. Madeline Miles now with it. There is 20 seconds remaining here in this contest. This will probably be the last possession here of the game. So Miles will have Pasecki to her right. And with it being the last possession, all the Hawks are down outside the arc. As they're going to tap it over to Margaret. Margaret's going to try to chip one in, and a save made there. And that will be it, as your Hawks are victorious on senior night as they come down to congratulate senior goalkeeper Anna Burke, as she gets the shutout here. And your Hawks are victorious 7-0 over the Knights from Ardrey, Kell. Again, fans, we want to thank you for tuning in to tonight's broadcast of Hawks Media Production. Our field hockey team will have one more home game. That is on October 10th, where they will be hosting the Chargers from Providence Day. Again, fans, thank you for tagging along this evening, and have a great evening.